What's up, boys and girls? Welcome back to the W2W YouTube channel. My name is Captain Lowside, and we are here for round 11, nearly the end of our season, here for another night of fantastic racing. Tonight we are at W2W Racing Circuit, I believe its full name, and it is a real circuit in Japan, for those of you who don't know. The last few rounds have been GT original tracks, but this time we've dipped back into the real tracks. So, joining me tonight for commentary is Just Kingston. This is our almost second time in a row, mate. People will start talking. Welcome, mate.
I know. Well, hopefully third time's a charm next week, but, you know, we'll see how things go.
Yeah, for sure. And getting the introductions out of the way early, our visuals tonight is Dodgy86. Welcome, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Glad to be here. This track has got a lot in store for us tonight, I think, so chomping at the bit for the action to start.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. If my race is in Div 1 or anything to go by, we are in for an action-packed night. So, on that topic, Dodgy, how did you go in your races?
Look, I played it safe. I hate to say this has been a bogey track of mine this week. I just couldn't get my head around it, so I just made sure I stayed on the track. I had a good time though. I think I came around 6th or 7th in the first one and 2nd in the second one, so it wasn't that bad.
Nice. Yeah, good
mate.
results. And yeah,
yourself?
just thinking that you're... I managed to put it on the front row in qualifying, which honestly surprised me. Unfortunately, I had a bit of a shunt into turn 1, so that sent me from the front of the pack to the back real quick, but these things happen, so it's all part of racing. And I was on for a win in race 2, but I managed to overfuel on my strategy after the second stop, which meant I ended up just behind Cazadro by like a car length or so. And yeah, couldn't get past him for about 10 laps. Finally did get past him, and then I make a silly mistake, run wide on one of the corners, and he goes fine straight back past me. So it's I'm a little bit dirty with myself, but yeah, nobody else to blame. So
The fun of racing.
Yeah, look,
all that
it's
effort.
one of those things.
A little bit too much fuel, a bit too heavy on the old fuel biscuits, and you're not crossing the finish line fast enough.
Yeah, it can ruin things real quick. Look, I came in pretty much with zero practice. I think I was able to get on Monday, and that was about it. So considering I'm not that disappointed with my results. So.
That's pretty good with like very little practice. I know for myself, if I don't practice enough, then I'm pretty much just spending most of my time kissing a wall. So yeah. That's the reason I wasn't racing this week. Just not enough time in the week to sort of get enough practice in, so I thought it was just better to sit back, enjoy a race with a few of you guys, and, you know, spout some rubbish over commentary.
Well, I tell you what, if that's the case, mate, I'm going to get in and change your Discord name to Just Kissing It instead of Just Kingston It.
Yeah, hey, whatever floats your boat, you know.
We'll try to keep things PG here at W2W, but on that topic, qualifier is getting kicked off. So, what is your thoughts for pole here?
Ooh, good one. Ando. I'm going to commentator curse it right now. Just throw some Ando in there now.
Yeah, he's been doing really well over the last few rounds.
Yeah, definitely. Last races, it was on fire for pretty much most of it. I think it was his strat that actually just let him down, which oddly enough, I copied his strat in the race after that, which actually got me second. So,
there you go.
Each to their own.
Well, look, different strats work for different people, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I know Madriski's been pretty solid, like, a lot recently, so...
Yeah, I was watching his laps just before our stream started, and yeah, he's right at the top, so I'd have to agree with those two. I also think W2W Ben could be a bit of a dark horse. He's only just returned, so he's definitely been Div 1 pace in the past, so I think he's one to keep an eye out for, personally.
Yeah, to save ourselves from saying everyone's names as a guess, but I reckon the last one for me would be Suitlad.
Yeah.
Just watching him in practice just before, he seems to have quite a lot of pace in him.
Yep, totally agree with that. Not just because he's Dodgy and I's teammate, but he's always got pace. He's definitely good.
Yeah, alright, I'll change my own name to Kissing It, so...
Oh, fantastic. What do you think, Dodgy? We'll jump on with Ben now that I mentioned him and go for a hot lap once he starts lap 2. Don't go
Sounds
on to it
good.
now.
Where's he disappeared to? He's off my
He's
list.
sitting at 11th, so
11th.
he's trying to find a bit of free space from what I can tell. He's dropped right to the back of the grid.
Nice. He knows we're watching him now.
Yeah, we're on with him. He's all yours.
He's clued on. He's clued on to
Very
our
good
tactics.
to give yourself the space, especially leading up into this last sort of chicane complex, because it's easy to step out and lose your car.
Oh, this last setup is
Yeah.
an absolute. It can really make or break your lap. If you're a little bit off on one of the corner entries, that's about all you're going to get. So, as we see him put the foot down, he's given himself plenty of space and really trying to line up his best exit out of this corner as he can. Cut this left-hander just slightly, run out to the wide, bring yourself back. You can pretty much straight line this as you head over to the left to set yourself up for turn 1. There's a little orange braking marker just on the left-hand side. He brakes hard at that, lifts a little bit, turns in, takes the curb, runs out left again, and this right-hander is basically non-existent. You flat chat. You bring yourself left again to line yourself up to the corner. There's a little road on the left. You're braking hard, slinging in, run wide, bring yourself back to mid-track, miss that first apex perfectly like he has, clip this second one, run shallow for this hairpin. It's quite an odd one. You don't need to run wide. It's just admit you got to be slow to it and take a nice shallow entry. We see him flick, again, perfect racing line through this left hand. You really want to late apex that one and give yourself as much straight line speed through this right hander and down into the hairpin. You're braking hard, you're braking late. You really want to take a normal line through here and get on the power as soon as you can. You see short shifts there, just trying to get the power down as quickly as you can. There's not really a braking marker for this right-hander, so you just really have to go by feel as he flicks it into the downhill section, keeps it nice and tight through this right-hander, brings himself just past mid-track, flips it left again, just takes a little bit of the curve. It's probably going to hurt his time only very marginally. Keeps it nice and tight through there. It's looking real good. Short shifts into third for the power. Again, keeps it nice and tight on that left-hander, using all the track on the right, all the track on the left. You can't be too eager to turn in on the right-hander here. He's taken picture perfect lines, if I can tell you the truth. So this is going to be a good lap for him. As soon as he crosses the line with a 34th lead.
Well done.
Smashing it.
Well done.
Absolutely smashing it.
Oh.
So no surprises. He gave himself the free air, and that was exactly what he needed.
That was a very good run. I was just like watching Ando just sitting there in first, like, oh, no commentator curse for you, I see. Interesting. Well played, sir. Well played. Ben coming through with the goods. Thank you, sir.
Ben came through, smashed out for pole. That would have actually been really, really good time in Div 1. I think I was about a hundredth off of Adam's pole time, and we were down in the 134.1, high 134.1. So he would have definitely been mid to high pack in Div 1. So it's really going to show something for Ben's pace for sure. I haven't kept an eye on the rest of the field. I wonder if anybody else is purple, which could certainly upset Ben's apple cart.
Well, we've got him here, gents. Starting with Ben, do you just want to give us a quick rundown on all the cars and drivers and liveries for us?
Yes, of course. Hopefully we don't get too much chopping and changing. But yeah, in first place is Ben, as we were just on. Dale sets a new time, 35.6. Smurf improves, Evil One improves, Suitlad improves. Alright, hopefully we don't see too many more changes. But yeah, Ben in first place, flat out racing. He's only just returned to the league after having some life dramas, but he's coming back swinging by the looks of things. Ando in second, he's been a high finisher in Div 2 for quite a few rounds here, so fingers crossed for some good results for him. And then Midrisky coming in third for the leftovers. He's actually always been consistent, I find, and can punch out some really good results. So fingers crossed for him, and good luck in tonight's racing. Chloe Kate in fourth, as we see him slowly moving around the track for Shake and Bake Racing.
And we've also got Suitlad in fifth. Spence a little bit behind him. Not a bad time for Spence, actually, in sixth. Smurf and your mum in seventh. We've also got Super Dragon bringing it up in 8th. Then Broken Spoke coming in nice little respectable 9th, with Dale in 10th, Evil One 77, and then Con 8 rounding out the field. Not too bad.
So as we went
Only 1-7. whole field, 1-7.
Yeah, look,
1.7 behind. It's pretty good.
That's really tight. As you can see, Ando, Dale, those of them who made it out of the pits quite quickly and kept the foot down, they do get 3 laps. So that's worked well there for Super Dragon and Spence. So they've both improved on their times on the last lap, as has Dale. And Ando's unlucky. But that's our grid there, boys. As predicted, Ben, Midriski, and Ando are 1, 2, and 3.
Look, what did we get? At least 2 out of 3? Did we say Spence? I don't think we.
No, I'm pretty sure we
Spence.
got 3 out of 3, didn't we?
We got 3 out of 3? See, you say most of the field, you're definitely going to get 3 out of 3.
Yeah. Hey, look, if you run through the
No
whole
favourite
field,
children here.
you have to get it right if you mention everyone.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
we stay at the front of the front of the pack here, Dodgy. With,
Yeah, definitely.
With Risky. I reckon jump on in third.
Well, no worries.
I can't see lights from where I am, but we should be getting underway any second now.
There we go.
And they're off. Lot of wheel spin, lot of smoke. That's pretty typical. Ben's getting pretty wild off the start line, so that's going to give Ando a great run in turn 1. Ben does have the inside line here, so he's got to play it safe and be able to hold out as we're seeing a whole bunch of 2x2s, basically the whole field. Everyone's shuffling around for places. Ben's taken out that lead nicely and settled in first place already.
Nice close battling going back there in the 4th.
Track position is absolutely vital around this circuit and this car combination. You get stuck behind someone, and if you're of any form of similar pace, then you're stuck behind them until they make a mistake. It is super tough to follow around here and then try and make an overtake.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of like you need to just be able to sit patiently behind someone and hope that they may just like run a little bit wide or something. Just trying to force that mistake, fill their mirrors, really get up in them, up in behind them to sort of, I guess, force that mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. I was trying to do that in my race too, and it was sort of working for me. I just had a mistake open up in front of me, and then just got past for the lead of the race, and then managed to make a mistake myself, and that put me back in the second place. So shut me right back into my box.
I'm sure it was a lovely box, but still, it's just not painted as well as first place.
Yeah, very true. At the end of the day, it's the points that count. So the battle between first and second may not be so great, and you really want to bring home those points.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, since a lot of our times point allocation at the end of a race is down to total race time, it's really important, I think, during these races to get as clean a race as possible with unfortunately, battling sometimes just slows down both drivers, but it's so hard. I think we mentioned this last week. It's so hard not to battle, even though it's just hurting you both as an overall time. Yeah,
it absolutely is. But hey, we're here to race, so that's what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
We are seeing this field settle down quite nicely already. Everyone's sort of breaking out that half-second gap. I personally think this is majority of it is down to the aero wash and not being able to have as much grip when you're following someone in dirty air. So, basically the entire field is separated by 5 or 6 tenths.
We had a little bit of a fight going on between Evil One and Broken Spoke earlier towards that first hairpin, but that's basically fizzled out since, straight into that aero wash. Everyone's just basically joined the train. It's almost like Japan's version of an open Monaco. In a way.
It's actually very good. That's a very good comparison. It's very, very true. For majority of the lap, 99% of the lap, you have to be single file or following the car in front. Oh, we see Evil One get quite wild there coming through that set of corners. Brings Con for the battle for 12th, right up behind him. Might give him a good run onto the straight here if Con's able to capitalise. But it's really, this straight is just not long enough. It needs to be about an extra 150, 200 metres to really make use of that slipstream and try and get past the driver in front.
Yeah, if that last corner wasn't so shallow, I reckon it'd be a lot better. Like something where it was a lot faster, it'd allow you to have a bit more of a run onto the straight. I think would help this track a lot.
Yeah,
but as
totally
it's
agree.
Currently set up, it's a dog of a track.
Yeah, look, it's not great with this car combination, but we chose these cars, so we made our bet, we'll sleep in them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we... caught it on stream. Maybe I missed it at the start of the race, but Midriski has been overtaken by Cloquet. So third position there. Midriski has dropped one position on the opening laps.
Yeah, I think that was in the first couple of corners, that one, and I'm pretty sure we did get that one on stream.
There we go. I'm just slacking. Oh, we see Spence running just a little bit wider next to that hairpin as well, so that might give him dirty tyres into this sweeping right-hander. He's been able to manage it, bring it right back, keep it in line, keep Super Dragon behind him.
Everyone is definitely on their best behaviour at this track, and it's sort of what I expected. It's one of those tracks where you've got to go, you know what, stuff it. If I look like seeing Spence go off and spin right now, that is what happens if you don't relax and just take it slow. Next minute you're off into the sand.
I had to mention Spence, didn't I?
Yeah, I blame you, not me.
He's been lucky. He's completely escaped damage. He's just going to have some dirty tyres. He needs to clean them up and just focus on his lap times now. And plenty of free air, so consistency should be his key point from now on.
That was quite a spin. I hope his tyres are okay, but actually...
He's gone again.
He's right at turn one. Go on, Spency boy. Gather it up.
Yeah, more likely just to shake the driver than any part of the car. That's the thing.
Yeah, you just got to
you really got to try and refine your rhythm. Yeah, that's a rhythm now. Rhythm.
You certainly end up with dirty tyres for better part of half a lap as well. Yeah. So you think it might be good after a couple of corners. You go back to your usual braking and turn-in markers, and they're useless. You just push wide. So that's exactly what we saw at turn one.
Broken Spokes had a bit of an off, I think, as well. He's now all the way back in 11th.
He has too. So dropped a couple of positions there for our teammate, unfortunately. He's run wide on that hairpin as well, so it might actually open up a bit of a battle between Broken Spoke and Spence. We want to keep an eye on.
Luckily, no damage, so at least we got that going for him.
Yeah, definitely. I did unfortunately sustain damage in my Div 1 race 1. Rear aero damage for 13 laps around here really messes with your times.
Yep. Spencer's past Broken Spoke. It's starting to push out now. That's good. It's good to see a driver be able to just shake off a spin like that and just push back into the pack and start again.
Yeah. Spencer's making moves already.
We've definitely got a little train forming between Cloquet, Madriski and Souplad up there. They're trying to stick in each other's slipstream. They're sort of following each other all over the track. I reckon that might come a bit closer as the tyre wear starts to kick in and these cars start sliding around. These will be some guys to watch.
Yeah, because all it takes is one small mistake. As we see Cloquet just go that little bit wide, and it's brought Midriski right up into the middle of it. Midriski's going to be speed challenged on the exit of this corner, so Cloquet will have a better run onto this straight, which straight away sets him back into third place by a couple of tenths. But it really just goes to show that any small mistake here can really cost you positions.
Definitely. Like now Ando's right up the back end of Ben. Just nice little battle for first and second again. These guys seem to be spending a lot of time around the same area of track as each other. Especially the last race, I think it was Ben came out of the pits just in front of Ando on mediums. And they kind of just had this nice little battle leading into the last part of the race. Now they're just picking up exactly where they left off.
Yeah, the pointy end of the field seems to attract the same drivers. Just looking at the tyre wear though between Ben and Ando, it is significantly better on Ando's car. So I wonder how much that's going to come into effect in the second half of this race.
Yeah, it's definitely that whole thing of being able to follow someone is a lot easier than leading at a time. So it's like Ben's just going to lose so much more fuel and tyres as he tries to keep in front, where Ando just has to keep up.
Yeah, see, I tend to go the opposite with my driving style. I tend to do better when I'm in front and in clean air. I can hit my markers better. I know what what I can drive to and how the car's going to behave. So, Ando's getting a bit squirrely there for second place. But yeah, I actually find it easier to lead rather than to follow.
Well, if I'm ever in a race with you, I'll make sure to stay behind you. just keep up. I'm good.
You got some lads starting to put a bit of pressure on to Madriski here too, so I think these guys are starting to get a bit closer now.
It's going to be a nice battle coming into the last few laps, I reckon, for third. So you've got the three guys and then Dragon just sitting in the back, just waiting. I reckon that's a nice little pouncing opportunity there for him if he can keep up.
Oh, do we see what happened to Madriski there? He got a big slide on.
He's just cut in too fine on that one.
Yep, so Sudlat's been able to capitalise on that situation, just keeping it nice and clean, keeping that consistency. Picks up into 4th place, so he can now try and hunt down Cloquet.
Nice. Good work, boys.
Good work, Sue. Making moves.
We got Zuzu in the chat as well saying hello. We got a few people in tonight saying good evening to Fire Moves, DJ, Zuzu, Logan. How you going, boys?
Hey, boys. Good to have you on board.
We're waiting to see if anyone really answers to who they reckon's going to take race 1.
Dragon's taking the inside at turn 1, and he's got him. He's taken Madriski into turn 1, and Madriski's had a bit of a slide in the process.
He's getting wild on the exit. Yeah, Madriski's tyres are just a little bit worse than Dragon's, but yeah, he's been able to get that run onto the straight and get some move done. Sudlat is also closing in on the back of Cloquet. He's taken a few tenths out of him for that battle for 3rd place. But the hassle is Sudlat's now going to deal with that dirty air, trying to get that run onto a straight or into a corner. Just has to sit pretty and honestly wait for a mistake or a perfect pouncing opportunity if Cloquet runs wide into his hairpin or there's so many different opportunities that can arise. You just need to sit back and take it calm.
You could be waiting a while for Cloquet to make a mistake though.
Yeah, look, he's very consistent, isn't he?
The other boys in front are starting to make a little bit of a gap for themselves. 2.5 back to Cloquet.
Or jump on for
comfortableness.
Jump on for 9th. I'm seeing Eagle One and Con go nose to tail there. They were within a 10th and then had a bit of a car overlap, and then they've just dropped back through this section of corners which really rely on aeros. So it's very difficult to go side by side or even nose to tail here. So I wonder if Con's going to try and prioritise this exit here and get a good run onto the straight. Yeah, you can see he's trying to get the power down as early as possible. He's within striking distance for a move into turn 1. He's got plenty of aero. Is he going to make the dive? He goes out, he makes a move, he gets it. Oh, he's made a dive under braking. They've come close. Evil One may have just tried to close the door there, but they've made it through. Con takes 9th position.
They've been battling quite closely all race, so it's good to see them keeping it real close. Evil One trying to have a bit of a comeback there. Hopefully
Evil One showing Con that he's not messing about. Oh, you see a bit of a dive there for that hairpin. Evil One's going to be speed compromised on this exit there, and yeah, unfortunately does give his position back to Con.
Yeah, it's hard to get a very good exit out of that corner when you're so tight on it though. So it seems like a really good up the inside move, but a lot of the time it's just easier to stay wide and go around the outside of someone. Yeah,
this car and track combo really favours the opposing side. You wouldn't think you'd be able to go around the outside of someone, but it certainly happens. I wonder what happened to Spence as well. Did he...
He's had another off.
Oh, he has had an off. Yeah, he's got engine damage. We missed that on stream, but we don't need to focus on the crashes. But unfortunately for Spence, he's sitting pretty back in 12th and will need to pit. You can't drive around with engine damage on anywhere. So that's unfortunate for Spence. Oh, actually jumping back up first, Dodgy, because Ando making a dive for first place. Actually gets it done in the braking. Yeah, gets it done. It's really showing off that tyre preservation in the first 8 or 9 laps. They are, noticeably better. He's used a little bit more fuel. That may have just been to try and get past Ben. So expect to see Ando now try and pull away for the lead and with those better tyres, keep those lap times down.
Yeah, it's definitely a very smart strat. Like, the tyres just fall off so quickly in this game. As I said last week, they're great one moment, and then halfway through the next lap, they're just gone.
Yeah, especially if you push wide or you do end up with some dirty tyres. If you give it a dirt drop, and then you've really got to overcompensate for the lack of grip, you just take that extra edge off of the tyres, and they're just not the same since. So good work to Ando, preserving those tyres.
I really don't want to take anything away from Ando, and I'm not being biased at all, but I've just got to change to position 3 for a second.
Sure.
Good old suit lad.
Hey.
Go 13R. He's made it past Cloquet, and he's making a good gap already. So he's now got the bit between the teeth and going for it.
Dragon up the inside as well.
Yeah, Dragon's made the inside there because Cloquet's just run wide. So that was basically an exact replay of what happened to me in race 2. So I just pushed wide there on that double right-hander and was overtaken right up the inside. So unlucky for Cloquet. He's lost 2 positions in the last couple of laps, and surprisingly his tyres are actually on par with...
I think he's going to lose another one to Madriski shortly, the way this is looking.
Yeah, Madriski's coming right up behind him. And even Dale's right in this mix as well.
He's been able to be able to get back to Lad.
It's possible. It is possible.
Last lap dash.
Last couple of laps, yeah. Looking at the tyres, Dragon's used a bit more fuel, so that might actually... fuel's really not an issue around this track for our 13 laps, so it might actually help Dragon in the sense of having a lighter car and having a quicker vehicle. But at the same time, so they can still rev it out, and he's still got track position. So those 2 drivers are very close in their skill level and their speed, so yeah, it will be interesting to watch towards the end of the race.
Interesting, yeah, to see how much that fuel level does come into play. You know, lighter car, it's going to mean the tyres aren't going to degrade as fast.
So yeah, if we can jump back on for 6th, we can see Madriski right on the back of Cloquet as well. So I wonder what happens to Cloquet. He's really dropped off these last few laps in terms of pace. He's come under fire by quite a few people here, and yeah, next on that list is definitely Madriski.
He's really punished his front left. I've noticed that, like, compared to the other people around him, he has a lot less tyre life in that front left, which I think is really punishing him coming into those last corners. Which means
that last set
exit isn't as good onto the straight, which means a lot of people can start coming into him.
Yep, absolutely. And honestly, if either Madriski or Cloquet make a mistake, Dale's going to be right there, and Dale's Madriski's wide. See, as I say it, Dale's been able to capitalise on that, keeping it clean, run straight past Madriski, which is just gone wide. Dale actually goes purple in the first sector, so just goes to show, if you make an overtake, doesn't always mean it's going to be slow. Good work, Dale. There, now Dale has to hunt down Cloquet, which, last 2 laps, certainly possible.
He's got less fuel and a lot more tyre life too, so it's quite possible that he can get that move done these last 2 laps. Suit Lad's even starting to close the gap on Ben.
Yeah, Ben's tyres are really looking worse for wear.
Second and the 4th, or second and 3rd aren't 100% yet. Wow,
nothing's locked away.
Very dead tyres.
Without cursing Ando, he's been able to break out a 3.4, 3.5 second lead on Ben over basically 2 or 3 laps. So he's on fire. He's not looking to slow down anytime soon. He can keep it clean. I think he's got first place in the day. Yeah, so back to Ben. His tyres are really not looking great compared to Suitlad and Dragon. So if Suitlad doesn't get too caught up with trying to make a move past Ben and doesn't introduce Dragon into the mix too quickly, then yeah, he's on for a good second place here. He's got a good run. No, he's just not going to have enough of an overspeed into turn 1 for Suitlad to make a move. Oh no, he gets squirrely!
Oh, that's engine damage, no doubt.
Luckily no engine damage, but front right suspension and front aero. He's not even dropped the wheel, he's just gotten a little bit too eager on the throttle on the curb, and he's just managed to push wide and get that wheel spin and end up in the wall. That's very sucky, that's very unlucky.
We should start just watching the last place guys, because the commentator curse strikes again. We're doing well. By the way,
last
comment
person I
section,
wanna
we're
curse
taking
is-
bribes. Just saying.
The last person I wanted to curse was my teammate. He was doing really well. Was closing that gap on Ben, but look, like I said before, you can just get too eager and.
I'm not
It's
throwing
definitely
conspiracy
been.
theories out there, but if conspiracy theories stick, I'm just going to say he's going to be cheaper next season.
Dragon's really up there with Ben. He's giving him what for?
Oh,
He really is. Ben's
Bit of a tap.
massively struggling here. He's just not got the tyre life to be able to keep pace through these corners. It's really making it difficult for him. So I think Dragon's going to be able to get the run onto the straight here. He's right on the back of him. If Dragon can't make the move into turn one, I think Ben might be going. Oh no, Ben moves over. I think he's aware that his tyres are costing him. He opens up the inside line for Dragon, but it doesn't make it instant overtake. The Dragon's gone just a little bit deep, and it's and he's Dragon's gone just a little bit deep, and he's spun Dragon on the exit of turn one. That's
and then
super
you got Dale and
unfortunate.
Cloquet now into the podium positions. What a final lap this is starting to be.
See, that's all you need to do. Dale has made it past Cloquet and in and among all of this action, and has been able to keep it clean, move up into second place. Wow, everything's happening in the final lap here. Ben's also dropped back to fourth, under
Dragon
5
down to
under
6.
Dragon massively unlucky there, down into
Madriski's
6.
having a go at Ben. No, he can't hold it.
Just can't get around. He might make a move into this hairpin because Ben's going to be compromised on speed. This is just
That was a tap
bump and
off.
run.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, see, trying to compensate for different braking abilities this late in the race is super difficult. So we see Dragon
did the
move
right
back
thing,
up
though.
in the fourth.
He waited. He redressed.
He did. He realised the mistake and pulled back in behind Ben. Ando jumping back up in first place. He's 9.2 seconds ahead of all the chaos behind him, so he's going to take first place. Dale, massive props to Dale. He's just kept it clean this race and been able to make a solid return. Move his way upfield and taken second place. So congratulations to Dale. Rounding out our podium after all of this action is Cloquet in third place, followed closely by Dragon for fourth.
What a nice little last lap. I love the fact that T1 managed to ruin the podium positions for two drivers on two different laps.
Yeah, plenty of action here.
Curse of T1.
Turn one, it ruined my race in race one, so it's the bearer of all evil. So yeah, Ben in fifth, Vidriski in sixth, Suitladder after the unfortunate mishap under his own power in seventh, Smurf bringing it home in eighth, closely followed behind by Con. We have Evil One in 10th, Broken Spoke after actually sporting some damage now as well. So among everything else, he's come off, and then Spence with that earlier damage as well in 12th. So
bringing home fastest lap though.
Those bonus points are going to be super handy for him. But yeah, congratulations to Ando for taking out race one.
Good driving, but yeah, unfortunate for Ben. Unfortunate for Dragon, but unfortunately, that's what these cars do to you sometimes.
It happens. There's carnage left, right, and centre. Some self-inflicted, some not, and it's just the way it rolls. And yeah, you see massive shuffling here at the end of race one.
Yeah, the results are up at the moment, fellas. It was a 21:15 total time for Ando. So, how do you think that fares in the grand scheme of things?
Again, Ando's had Div 1 pace for the last at least 3 or 4 rounds, if not more. So I would say that'd be very close to quickest race time for Div 1. So I can find
he would have been fourth in Div 1.
There we go. I was just about to find my screenshot, but yep, you've beaten me to it. So
I got you,
okay. Ando showing his pace. Adam V with a 21:06 for first place in the race in Div 1, and so Ando proving his pace again, and given the opportunity, would certainly hold his own in Div 1.
Yeah, I tell you, I think old Spence, I do a lot of practice with Spence during the weeks usually. He's on almost every day with the rest of us. And there is one man there and Broken Spoke above him who are going to be absolutely kicking themselves back there in 11 and 12 with those few offs. They really pride themselves on not getting off the track, those pair, and they're going to be really dirty on themselves, unfortunately.
Yeah, they will. The best part of this is that they have a massive opportunity to be able to redeem themselves in race 2. So starting on the podium, race 2 is reverse grid, so we'll see Spence take pole position, followed closely by Brokenspake for the front line. So they should have their strategies sorted. If they're not like me and going into race 2 blind, but I would expect that those guys have their strats sorted out and can hopefully bring home a great result.
Yep. I'll tell you what, have you got your leaderboards handy there, Cap?
I do.
I've got
We're bringing up Div 2.
Yeah, I've got Div 1 and Div 2 on at the same time for you there, whichever one you want, because we've got guys out of each in this race.
Yeah, we do. So we see Suitlad in Div 1 along with Super Dragon and Dale. So those guys have worked their way out to Premier League over the last few seasons. Dale and Suitlad and Dragon as well, but more specifically Suitlad and Dale have been in Div 1 for Season 6. So unfortunately some things have happened, which means they are on 15th, 16th and 17th in Div 1. But in Div 2, they would still be... What's Suitlad on? He's on 2,462. He would actually be in 5th place anyway, or maybe 6th place. So he's definitely still holding his own in the field of drivers that he's with. And then moving to our Div 2 total leaderboards, we have Troy HQ1. He's actually been racing in Div 1, so it just goes to show that your division on the leaderboards is definitely not where you race every week. As is Jonesy, another 13R team representative. He made it up into Div 1 this week as well. So he came home with a fantastic result in race 1. So big shout out to Jonesy. He came home in 3rd, gapping the field as well by a quite large margin back into 4th place. So holding his own for his Div 1 appearance, which is fantastic for 13R. And yeah, Ando actually surprisingly in 4th. He's had some drop rounds there, so he's able to keep his good point scoring rounds up. He had 5.13 in last round in round 10, so I think he's going to be moving up into Premier League leaderboards for next season.
Definitely. If he's not there, something's gone wrong.
I know there is one leaderboard that you really want to talk about. I'll bring it up just for you, Cap, because I know it is the one. Here's our team's leaderboard so far for this season, with just 2 rounds left.
I certainly love bringing this leaderboard up. So 13R Autosport, myself, team captain, and Dodgy, and Suitlad, and Jonesy, and the rest of the team, ZD, Soul Reaper, absolutely smashing at the moment on 15,728 points, leading by just under 2,000 to second place in the leftovers, who's 13,800. We actually see a really, really tight battle for second place between the leftovers, T-Rex Racing and V Corsa. So they're all within about 100 points of each other, and that can actually really, really make a big difference towards the end of the season as we start counting more and more rounds. So we do race 12 rounds here at Wheel to Wheel. The top 8 of your best points finishes are tallied up to be your individual total points for the season, and then each team member has those total points added together for our team totals. So if you have a really good round and then you have a really bad round, that really bad round might be dropped until you have another bad round that is equal to or less than those points. Then somebody else might have less of a bad round and still have more points. So the leaderboards still chop and change towards the end of the season, but I am at the risk of jinxing ourselves, Dodgy. I think we've got the team championships wrapped up this season.
Fingers are crossed.
Absolutely everything is crossed, isn't it?
Okay, we've had the 1 minute call. I think we'll be back on track very shortly, so let's get back there and see how they're going.
So we'll look through the practice at the moment. There's a few people out there with a nice mixture of softs and medium runners, so the start of this race could be quite spicy.
Yeah, absolutely agree on that. We see, where's Spence? So Spence is on softs. We see Broken Smoke on softs, and who else was going to round out the podium for this race? podium. The top 3 for the starting grid. I have to find out what tyres are.
It'd be Spence, Broken Spoke, and
Evil one?
Evil one. Yep. Yeah. Didn't look at the starting grid at all. I'm just guessing.
Okay.
Hey, yeah.
We can see some green on the starting grid, so we'll find out what tyres Evil One's on and see where the first of the medium runners are, because I would expect the first half of the field or so to be on the soft tyres. So this is
Evil One's on softs. First top 3 definitely softs.
We're on with Smurf.
Con on 4th is in with medium, so our first medium runner is Con in 4th.
As we get underway, Spence got an absolutely fire start and has been able to gap the field already. We're seeing side by side again. Spokes come under fire by Con, Smurf and Suitlad are going side by side. Clocate and Dragon are going side by side. Ando's already looking to make moves and capitalise on his pace from race 1. So he is sitting on the mediums. Oh, he's got a little bit of a push from Dragon and Midrisky. They're all trying to battle for that super important track position in these opening laps. We see Suitlad and Wheel to Wheel Ben going side by side through this tight section of corners as well. Ben is actually on mediums, Suitlad is on softs, so I'm sure Suitlad will be keen to get past Ben.
So Con's already made a move up into 3rd as well, which is quite good because he made that move even on mediums. He's still able to sort of outpace Spoke up into 3rd, which is doing pretty well.
He's got a really good start. We can see
Ben off in the back.
Yeah, we can see Ben's off in the background as well. Not sure what happened if he pushed deep into the braking zone or got a little nudge. Doesn't look like anyone's redressing, so I think he's just gone deep into that hairpin. And yeah, unfortunately, he's ended up towards the back of the field. Ando, though, making moves. He's already jumped up to 8th, starting from dead last after his win in race 1. Actually, see
1 and 2 having a nice little run off. Getting some nice space to the rest of the pack. Evil 1 and Spence just being able to have a nice little bit of space.
Yep.
Get in, relax, and make some good lap times.
Yeah, definitely. If I was in Evil One's position, I would just be chilling out and sitting behind Spence. Unless it's awful, as I say that, he makes a dive for first place very, very late on the brakes. Decides to chill out again and just give that position back to Spence, as it was a very late move. So good to see that took place. But it also is going to put Spence on the back foot if he's going to come under fire that quickly. I would be cautious if I was Spence.
Yeah, pretty much had a replica of that same move with Con and Broken Spoke.
Oh, on the topic of Broken Spoke, he's just tried to go around the inside, but as you mentioned before, Kingston, the exit of that corner when you're tight is just so hard to put power down.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those places that you just can't really get as much speed as you would hope.
Definitely. So Spoke has been able to force a mistake from Con. He had him offline into the entry into that hairpin, and he's just been able to go wide, but has been able to get that exit down surprisingly on medium still and be able to hold that 3rd position.
That's very surprising that he's able to still hold his own on a worse compound. So he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, Con definitely holding out there against Broken Spoke's 3rd. We see Suitlad as well putting a lot of pressure on Smurf for 5th. I wonder if he's going to have a run onto the straight here. He makes a dive for it in this section here. So that's side by side. Suitlad's really putting the pressure on, trying to get that run onto the straight. So he's in prime position here. A little bit slower of an outrun, so not the best of runs onto the straight. It actually brings Clocate right into the mix. Clocate could possibly make a dive for it here as we see him all concertina into turn 1. So that comes a little bit of a bump, pushes him wide, but he's able to keep it back on the track.
Look who's there waiting behind Clocate.
Without a doubt. And even on those mediums, still able to keep pace and really hunt down those guys on softs.
Yeah, this is one of those little strats where it's about saving your tyres, using a little amount of fuel so you can try and jump a few people in the pits, but you just want to make sure that the leaders don't get too far ahead.
And it's just come off a little, or that could have been a bit of a lag glitch there, I'm not sure.
He got a little bit squirrely, but was able to keep it.
Speaking of strats, gents, what do you think we're going to be seeing here? Do you think there's going to be any two-stop strats, or are we all on singles? What's your plan? What do you reckon?
I absolutely expect to see some two stops out of here, especially from the front runners who are still, or the front runners from race 2 who are still down the back of the field. So for the likes of Ando, Dale, Dragon, they're all on mediums. I'm sure they're going to want to minimise their time lost, A, battling in the field, and B, spending time on those mediums. So give it until lap 4, maybe even lap 5 on the mediums, and we'll start to see some people ducking off into the pits, I think.
Yeah, definitely. You can't really see a lot of people using just one stop. I think it is just one of those strats where you have to be so conservative, but there's so much battling going on right now. Like
on the top of the battling, sorry, Suitlad's just made a dash for 5th place in turn 1.
Some of your mums on mediums as well, so definitely all these like soft runners need to try and get past the medium runners as fast as possible, which is unfortunate for Spoke, because he's stuck behind Con8 at the moment on those mediums.
Yeah, Con definitely earned a bit of a nickname for himself through season 5 and even season 6. He was known as the Great Wall of Con, so he defends for his life, and he can certainly be a tough driver to try and get around. So Spoke's definitely got his work cut out for him, but you know, I think Spoke being on softs, given the right opportunity, it's definitely got a pounce.
Yeah, I think Spoke just, he kind of needs to basically sit back just a little bit sometimes to sort of let Con, I guess, overdrive and try to do a bit of the switchback on him. But as soon as he starts losing tyres from trying to battle too much, he's not going to have anything to attack Con with if he's not careful.
No, not at all. Spoke is doing very, very well on his tyres, though. They're almost even with Con on the mediums. The mediums don't wear as quickly in the first 4 or 5 laps as the softs do, so fantastic effort on the tyre preservation for Spoke.
Yeah, that is very surprising to see that he's battling this hard and hasn't killed his tyres off, so good work on that one. But Suitlad is now coming straight back in because of all that fighting. Unfortunately, he may be a great wall, but it's also just reducing everyone else's laps.
Yeah, look, he definitely is. He's making his strategy work.
Pit run up the back. I think that might have been Spence.
Yep, the end of lap
Ando,
4.
Madruski and Dragon in the pits.
All with very equal amounts of fuel. Ando and Madruski just a little bit over. So, yeah, like I predicted, we're seeing some of these front runners drop off into the pits. Looks like Dragon's the only one that went for fuel there, surprisingly. Yeah. So, interesting move, because you can either fuel up and, well, I mean, you could do 4 and 12 at the start and don't put fuel in. I think actually Dragon's done the right thing here, because Madruski and Ando are, well, actually no, they're not within QE of each other. Everyone's come out with free air. But yeah, Dragon, he's gone for the alternate strategy there in terms of finding that free air. So if anything, I predict he won't have to fuel again for the rest of the race, but he'll just need to come in after 12 more laps on lap 16 for a fresh set of softs to see himself to the end. So definitely keep an eye on Dragon. Even though he's sitting in 12th, his strategy, if he can keep his head down, will certainly start to pay off.
Tell you what, it is heating up for the 3rd position here. There's a big red blur behind Con at the moment.
We do. We have a 13R auto sport certainly chasing down Con here. So if they can get close enough, Spoke and Suitlad might be able to work together and just try and push past Con. But there really is no overtaking opportunities on this track. It's going to be tough for Broken Spoke and Suitlad. Oh, having said that,
and it's done.
Stoke. Yeah. Around the outside of turn 1. What a move. And Suit's gone side by side with Con here, and it's actually getting him before the braking zone.
I think Con went for the big block there, and he did his move to defend, but that corner is just not suited to go shallow, and it cost him in the long run.
Yeah. Look, fantastic moves from both teammates there, Spoke and Suitlad. Tracking effort. Now they can continue hunting down the front of the field and really focus on gaining that lap time back. Good work.
Nice little 7-second gap to Evil One that they need to just basically knuckle down now and try and get as much clean laps in as possible before that round of pit stops happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spence has definitely got a hell of a lead on Evil One. He's almost up to 4 seconds. That's not a bad drive from Spence there. Are they on the same tyre, gentlemen?
They certainly are, and was actually just looking at tyres as well. Spence, they are astronomically good.
Yep. It's a bit worse for wear on fuel, but only marginally. But these tyres, where it really matters, definitely brand new.
Has Evil One got damage? Because even now he's pulled out a further half second just in the last couple of sectors.
No damage.
No, just that tyre wear is certainly there'd be double the tyre amount of wear from Spence to Evil One. So
yeah,
it's honestly it's just down to that extra grip that Spence has been able to keep. His lap times have been impressively consistent. Lap 2, lap 3, lap 4, lap 5 have all been a 37.4.
Actually, they just had to ruin it with a PB on number 6.
Yep, comes and brings in the fastest lap for a short amount of time until Ando decides to snatch that back with a 36.4. Actually, we see a couple of pit stops as well, I think.
Okay, just came out of the pits.
Yep, Cloquet and Dragon.
He's had a bit of a contact with Dragon.
Yeah, pulls out and holds 11th. The Dragon, with that different strategy, fueling up, has actually brought him into traffic, so I'm sure Dragon's not going to want to hold around too long and is going to be keen to get back in front of Cloquet there. Doesn't make a move in that hairpin. He knows better in terms of overtaking positions. As it's been shown before, even in this stream, it's just not possible to get the power down being so shallow on corner exit.
Unfortunately, that extra fuel he took on gave Cloquet the time in pits to basically come out in front of him. Because if he didn't take the extra fuel, he would have had an extra 3 seconds on him, meaning that he would have been well past him before he even exited the pits.
Yeah. Which actually ended up would have meant he had free air and not having to battle with someone who is potentially slower than what lap times he wanted to push out. So.
They were likely not to actually take each other out, watching that little bit of an entry into T1.
Yeah, it was very close. So as we see Ando after the stop on lap 4, he's made his way back up to 9th position. He's got plenty of free air in front of him, nearly 8.5 seconds up to Ben, who, by the looks of it, is going to be on a one-stop strategy, potentially, because he's gone 8 on his medium so far. He might be splitting it down the middle. He might do 9, 9 and 10. On a 2-stop, he might even be doing a 1-stop. We'll see him coming on lap 14.
At this rate, yeah, you could definitely just... So he's only 20 seconds down from first, so potentially could definitely bring it all the way up from pits, but I don't know if it's really a smart thing to do, especially if Spence... Well, it depends on what Spence does. If Spence stays out and only does a 1-stop, then it's definitely not worth it. And the way he's going, it probably would actually be better off just staying it as a 1-stop.
Yeah, it's tough. I think Spencer's in a really good position being that 6.5, 7 seconds out in front of Evil One. I mean, his tyres are still fantastic. After lap 8, they are looking really, really good, which is going to help his lap times. He's not dropped below a 37.6, and that was only on lap 7. So, Spence in first place doing an absolutely fantastic job.
We've had Suit Lad jump out in front of Broken Spoke now. He's managing to push forth with a bit of a lead there on Spoke, so he's seen the clear air and going for it now.
He certainly has. Slightly better tyre wear on that left front for Suit Lad than Broken Spoke, but really not by much.
And Ben's just come into the pits behind.
Spot on, took the word out of my mouth. So that brings Ando up to 8th, and keeping a close eye on him. And yeah, Dragon and Cloquet are still within that half-second aero wash barrier as well for 11th.
Ben took on a bit of a splash there for fuel, taking up to about 71%. Now sitting about 4 seconds behind Dragon in 11th. Interesting to see how this goes. That battle between Dragon and Cloquet is really slowing down Dragon's race, though. Yeah,
it's not going to be helping Dragon. He's ended up in the same position I did, but I'm not sure if this is effective race lead. but it was definitely effective race lead for me, and hurt my times, but that's the way it rolls. We also see Dale and Smurf. They've been very close to each other, being teammates.
There's
Basically, this entire race.
Little teams hanging out together in this race. Quite interesting whether or not they're just sort of just helping each other along or not. Both are on medium tyres, so it's not really like alternate strategies or anything.
No, I would expect being teammates as well. If you figure out a strategy that works, then you share it among your teammates. And
Evil One's in pits.
And yeah, you generally end up on the same strat. Yeah. So Evil One might be doing a 9-9-10.
He has engine damage, so something's happened there.
Not maybe doing a 9-9-10. That could be a strategy that he is going to employ, but unfortunately, must have come a gutter somewhere.
Yeah, front aero and engine damage for Evil One has really messed up his whole pit stop.
Yeah, that extra 6 seconds is really going to hurt around here.
Yeah, he's fueled up for the end by the looks of it now.
18
medium
laps
tyres and full.
That is a big ask on a tank of fuel. It's certainly doable, but it really takes quite a bit of active fuel saving and being conscious of how much you're revving it out.
Yeah, you really need to start short shifting a lot earlier.
Got to give kudos to Spence here. He's got an 11-second lead at the moment over Suit Lad. He has absolutely punched it in this race. And I really think the disappointment of the first race has spurred him on to really put the boot into it for this one.
Yep, could not agree more. And he's potentially on for a one-stop here. He's still got, by the looks of it, plenty of fuel left, and his tyres. And they're honestly, they are fantastic. So he's certainly skilled up on tyre management.
Yeah, with half a pit stop lead, it's really probably not worth going in for 2. But at the same time, you may have the time. You may want to have that fastest lap back. You don't know. Con8's finally in the pits.
So Con coming in on lap 10 after his first stint on mediums, so he'll be keen to get off of them and back on softs. So might be doing a 10.
Just missed, just coming on the tail end of Ando taking Smurf. So Ando's now up to 5th with Dale in his sights.
Ando is not going to be hanging around. His softs are looking pretty good, being lap 7 if I'm not mistaken. And certainly wanting to hunt down Dale now, considering Dale is on his medium tyres.
So Con's coming out of the pits with soft tyres and 100% fuel as well.
Interesting move again. I wonder, pushing these tyres to 18 laps is really not worth it. So I'd expect to see Con in again. I wonder if he's going to be fueled for the end. It'll be interesting to watch. Yeah, Spence actually opened up 12.5 seconds now. He's really not slowing down at all. The tyre wear doesn't really seem to be affecting him. He's only dropped consistently. He's only dropped half a second off of his best time. Yeah, again, 38.0.
Extremely good lap times. That consistency is key. Like everyone says it, and it is true. If you can just settle yourself in, hit the same lap times every time, how can you be beaten sometimes? As long as they're good lap times, obviously. No point putting in 2-minute laps and expect to win. But
looks like Ando's just gotten into Dale's slip. Almost. He's at 6/10. There he is. He's got it.
Yeah. So that slip, that corner exit of turn 1 there, he's pulled it down from 7/10 down to 4 just in that small straight between first and second. Turn 1 and turn 2. So Ando's not going to be hanging around. I think we'll stick on with this until we see an overtake thing dodgy.
Yep. So Ando seems to have slightly better tyres as well, considering their softs compared to Dale's mediums.
Yep. So
really
Ando's softs
long.
going to be 8 laps old versus Dale's 12 lap old mediums. As we see him make a move, I don't think is he going to get it into the braking zone here? Nah, he pulls back in, thinks better of it. Dale's run just a little bit wide on corner exit. It's going to give a great run into this set of sweepers, but it's really not an overtaking opportunity. So, yeah, Ando's just going to take it easy. Oh, Dale's sliding all over the place. He's managed to keep it on track. Oh, that's got to be a heart and chest moment. Heart and chest, it's in your chest. Heart in mouth moment.
Hey, Spencer's in the pits.
Okay, so Spencer's doing it well. I was looking at his tyres. I was expecting him to go a lot longer.
What are you up to, Spence? What are you up to?
He's surely going to be doing
you can just get some clean air.
Yeah, looking at this, he's going to be jumping out almost in front of Ando and Dale here, so that'll be interesting.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so Dale's basically given that position as a good sportsman as he is into turn one for Ando, accepting that they're on different strategies and it's only going to hold him up. He's done the sportsman-like thing.
Exactly. Like, you really have to think about your long game. It's never the middle part of the race. It's easy just to let some people pass if they're on faster tyres, and you can tell that they're a lot cleaner and not faster. It's just going to slow you both down if you start fighting. So I always find it easier just to sort of try and get off the racing line, or at least indicate to say, yo, just go around. And then pretty much I like to just then slot in behind them and sort of use their aero a little bit to save my fuel and tyres so I can come back at them in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. So Spencer's, definitely been able to jump out in front of Ando for third place at the moment. Spencer's put an odd amount of fuel in. He's just under half tank. Would expect him to go 4, maybe 6 laps, but his tyre preservation on softs, I think he's only going to go 4 laps and jump back into the pits again for a set of brand new softs after his mediums. Which is interesting also because Ando came in on lap 4, so after doing his medium stint, so I would expect to see both of these guys in lap 16. We see Suitmate as well jump in the pits, 20% fuel left. He's doing some good fuel saving there. And see current race lead over the Broken Spoke.
Broken Spoke with the automatic. He's been doing a good job with the one stops. It seems to benefit him in at this track for the running with an automatic over the manual. So I wouldn't expect to see him in maybe the end of this lap, possibly the next.
Yeah, his tyres aren't looking fantastic, so he would surprise me if he's not in on lap 14 and let's put it down the middle.
Ben, just like jumping through the field, and I'll come back to Ben, and he's squirrely and trying to get things back. Obviously, going off, trying to get rid of the dirt off his tyres.
Yeah, something's definitely happened to him. He was a bit further up the field than that, what I last recalled. Let's
you go.
Smurfing making a move around Madrewski and Cloquet for 5th and 6th.
Oh yeah, that's a very tight battle pack. They're all jostling and trying to show the nose to each other and trying to battle for that position. Smurf has been able to hold out 5th, Madrewski 6th. Cloquet 7th. Oh, Midriski's going side by side through here, trying to go around the outside. That is a bold move.
That'll cost him Cloquet, I
3
think.
wide, okay, boys.
Really, wow, I'm surprised Cloquet didn't make that move up the inside there. Midriski's been able to hold out for that middle position. Wow, this is all so close. Smurf doing a great job ultimately holding up field because he's on mediums as he's doing yet another lap. So we see his teammate Dale come in and swap one of those softs.
Broken Spoke has stayed out. I just caught him sideways in a corner then, so...
And Madrewski's off and Smurf's off and Cloquet through.
Something's happened there.
Not sure if there was any contact there or if it was just a lot of overdriving.
I'll try and bring up a replay and see what we can find here, guys, with these.
Yeah, awesome.
fellas. So we've got them coming down the straight. You got Smurf, Madrewski and Cloquet. So they're all line astern and they've all gone 3 ways coming into the turn. Smurf's run wide and one off. Oh, they've just simply run off. That's it, one after the other, and Cloquet has done a Bradbury and gone, thank you very much, I will take that spot, gentlemen. So,
there you go.
Dragon has made up 3 spots
we've
as
just
well.
come on and Smurf has spun again. He was into the wall.
Yeah,
Has he got
just about to
damage?
say that. No, he doesn't have
no.
damage, but he went wide on turn 2, picked up grass again after having dirty tyres on turn 1, and then ended up in the wall.
Those
so
tyres are
he's
gone. He's
been
definitely in
able
this
to
lap.
avoid
Has
damage.
to be.
Yeah, you would be silly not to, but he did the right thing. He waited until the traffic was clear because he was right on a pinch point of one of those corners. So if he was to reverse on track, would have immediately ended up with engine damage for both people. So unlucky for Smurf, but he certainly did the right thing by waiting until the track was clear.
Yeah, we've got a
Do you
question
think that
from...
maybe he should have come in on this lap, considering it's lap 15?
Yeah. As we see Spoke and Ando coming in as well.
Oh, well, that might negate the question from Adam on YouTube of what was the fuel comparison between Spence and Ando. Now you will never know.
Adam is 4. It's got to be 4.
So yes, Spence is sitting on about just over a quarter of a tank. I would expect to see him in at the end of this lap, being 16, but
So will he take it to 20? 28 on the soft again?
So yeah, he would do 8 on the soft for his final stint, which would be interesting, but it certainly actually allows those mediums to warm up and become effective.
You've got to be careful for Ando with an undercut.
Yeah, definitely. Ando's again been able to find some free space so he can really crack down with those lap times. This is going to be interesting. Also, Suitlad, I think he's on softs again, so I think he might be coming in lap 24 potentially. No, did he start on mediums? I can't recall.
I think he did actually. There was a few of like the rear runners that were on mediums. Hey, Spencer's in this lap.
Yes, you are.
Good call.
It's
my second time. I'm only new.
So yeah, Spence in on lap 16, so he's doing the 12-4-12. Suitlad has seemingly split down the middle.
Where's he going to come out with Ando? Ando's copped evil one. That could slow him down a bit.
Yeah, it'll slow him down for a little bit, but not for long, I don't think. And yeah, Suitlad looks like he's actually fueled and tired for the end. So he's only got 11 laps to go. It looks like he's going to be able to pull off the one-stopper doing 15 on softs.
Spencer's come out ahead of Ando with a good chunk of time. He's about 8 seconds ahead, is it?
Just so he's 5.7 from Evil One, and Ando's right on the back of Evil One. So yeah, be about 6 seconds, depending on how quickly Ando can get around Evil One. Considering there is a big tyre difference here. So
Spencer's trying to get Ben. Oh, a bit of a tap.
There's a lot of action here as well. We see Ando still just behind Evil One 5th, even though the tyres are definitely an advantage for Ando. There we go. Evil One's pushed deep into that hairpin. Ando takes 4th place quite nicely. He's now on the hunt for Spence.
He's cleared Ben fast. I reckon he's going to definitely get him down the straight, if anything.
Yeah, it's those tyre difference. Spence is on brand new tyres. Ben is on very, very worn tyres. He's going to want to get past very quick. Otherwise, he's right for peaking from Ando.
3/10 lost to Ando within just a few corners there. He's coming hot.
So really hope Spence is going to be able to get past Ben here. It is a great run.
Yeah, Ben's giving him the indicate past as well.
Yeah,
so he knows he's holding him up. So that's some very good sportsmanship from Ben.
Yeah, again,
well played.
Doing the smart thing. Really just focusing on their own races. I saw Ben give just a little bit of a lift there to be able to make that overtake really as easy as it can be. So Suitlad sitting quite pretty on softs, as is Spence on softs. So Suitlad, in first by about 8.5. It's out to about 9 seconds. Sorry. So he'll be
Slowly
looking
coming
for that
down.
consistency.
Come on, Spence. Push, my dude. Push. It's going to be a good few final laps if this is how it's going to be.
Spence can just slow down a little bit and battle with Ando for second, and Suitlad can just run away with it. This sounds fantastic to me.
Does Suitlad still have to pit?
Nothing biased, no?
No, Suitlad is home and hosed for fuel and tyres.
Wow.
He's doing a one-stop strap.
So basically, Spence now needs to do a Hamilton and chase down Max, your boy, and see if he can take him. It is Spain, Barcelona, all over again.
Yeah, without a doubt. So yeah,
consistency that Spence has
had.
had this race, not lace. Even sitting behind Ben, he was still doing a 38. So consistent.
Super time. What did you just see there, Dodgy?
There's been a spin in the background. I'm going to go see if I can find it.
There's two. It's Evil One. He's sitting in ninth at the moment.
Ben's going in for fuel.
Let's have a quick replay and see what it was. See if we can get him. Yeah, I'm on Evil One now, and he's just coming around. Oh, it might not have been Evil One. He seems to be sitting on track pretty. No, he's just run wide, hit the grass, and then we're gonna, for the sake of it, call that Stefco corner because Stefco loved that sand pit in practice. So, good one, Evil One. You've now christened Stefco corner for this race.
There we go. Stefco corner claims another victim. It claimed me for race 2 as well. So Evil One's just come out of the pits there. He's going to be just out behind Con. He's going to be fueled and tied to the end quite comfortably now.
At least as a consolation prize, Evil One will be able to take home this brand new sandcastle building kit.
Too good. So yeah, Ando sitting in third place at the moment. He's cleared Dale by about 4 seconds or so now, and it's really going to want him to be hunting down Spence in 4 seconds ahead in second place there. Going to be a big ask. I personally think Spence has been on fire for this second race. After clearing Ben there just one lap ago, he's dropped back into the low 37s, so not hanging around by any means. And then yes, Suitlad's still with an 8-second gap, first place. Jumping back to 5th there, Dodgy, we can see Broken Spoke, Clocade and Dragon all within QE of each other.
Ooh,
and Clocade
a flash.
Looking for a move there into turn 1. Goes heavy under brakes.
Nice late braking from Clocade there.
Gets the move done, yeah.
Dragon just following him up the inside. He's a very opportunistic overtaker, Dragon, these couple of races. He's doing very well just following everyone else through. Clocade just clears the path, Dragon just comes in behind. Just comes straight through. So yeah, Spoke being speed deficit on that run down into turn 2 has really helped Dragon pick up for 6th spot. So unfortunate for Spoke there, but he's dropped two positions in as many corners. Most of the field's all pretty much spread out. Con is just coming out of the pits. He's weaving all over the place, so I'm sure he's not very happy with himself. I wonder if he's copped some damage or not too sure what happened there, to tell you the truth. But he's sitting 12 seconds behind Smurf, and Smurf was sitting idle there facing the fence for quite some time, so something has definitely happened to Con there, unfortunately, sitting in 12th. Fortunately, sometimes you just have those races where they start falling apart. He had a really good start, really have to admit. He has had a good start. He's had a good few consistent laps, obviously a couple of offs around 17 and 18. But other than that, should be happy with his race so far.
He's definitely got talent. He's always been known as a quick driver, and Waller Con is you've got to be quick to be able to hold people up.
Yeah, exactly. I had a nice little race with him last week, but unfortunately he is quite the wall, and I decided to kiss a wall.
Just kissing it is rearing its ugly head again, eh, mate?
Oh, definitely. Just kissing the wall. Just straight to the wall. Big chef kiss into the wall. Goodbye, Maria.
So jumping on for fifth, or the battle for fifth, rather, we see Cloakade and Dragon still within that slipstream zone / aero wash zone. Tyres are nearly exactly the same, just a little bit better on Dragon's car, and Dragon has just that little bit more fuel as well, so he might be able to push in these last 7 laps. It might also be hurting him having some extra weight there.
Definitely. But it'll be interesting to see if he can just keep up and whether or not anything sort of comes into fruition towards the end of the race.
Well,
They're both doing really well to keep it clean.
Yeah, absolutely. Dragon's shown that he is right there to collect any overtake that's gonna show its face to him. So he's just going to be sitting behind Cloakade, sitting pretty, hoping for a mistake, and he's going to be there to capitalise on it.
Slowly eating into Dale's time.
But... Yeah, look, I don't think there's going to be a 5-second gain from either of these drivers on Dale for the next 6 laps or 7 laps.
That sounds like a commentator curse challenge.
Yeah. Get your commentator curses in now, boys.
I'm cursing Cloakade and Dragon. They can sit pretty in 5th and 6th.
I just want to see Spence and Suit Lad close up and then Ando come in for that nice 3-way battle for the final lap. Yeah. Would this happen that, boys? Or just send them some messages to get some team orders in, slow it down, make it interesting?
So, yeah, jumping back up first, that lead has been brought down to about 5 seconds there. So, Suit Lad might have... Actually, not sure what's happened to Suit Lad. His tyres are still looking reasonable for having gone 10 laps now. Sorry, no, not 10 laps. He was in on lap 13, so these would be 9 laps old now.
Yep.
So yeah, considering his 9 laps versus Spence 5, he's doing pretty well, but he's definitely going to suffer in the last 4 or 5 laps here. Track position is still key though.
Yeah, Spence has taken about a second out in this last lap as well. So I think that tyre wear is really going to come into the forefront of this battle very, very soon.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. That gap holding pretty between Cloakade and Dale as well. We might see a couple of battles in the closing laps as all of the strategies start to even out and everyone ends up on the same bit of track.
Notice Ando extended by about half a second those last few corners while we were on with Suit Lad, so I'm not sure if Dale had a little bit of a moment or Ando actually put his head down and went, but he was back in the 7 seconds before. Now he's up to almost 8.5.
Yeah, it may just be that pace difference potentially. Ando's not looking to hang around.
Ando's probably just really starting to get into more of that, like that groove.
Yeah, looking at Ando's
is where he needs to hit him and just putting in the good laps.
Yeah, he's certainly starting to pull tenths out of Spence, and Spence is pulling tenths out of Suit Lad as is Ando pulling tenths out of Spence. But the gaps, I don't think tenths are going to be enough. They need to be more like seconds. And no, Suit Lad in on lap 23.
That came out of nowhere.
Interesting.
Hello, Spanner Meat Works.
Oh, yeah, look, he's done exactly that and thrown a spanner into it. He's come in for fuel by the looks of it, but no tyres. He's come in just a little splash of fuel and he's straight back out. I wonder if he's misclicked that dodgy, because you certainly don't need to come in for fuel around this track without coming in for tyres. I wonder what's happened there. He definitely started on mediums, didn't he? Or is he meant to do his mediums
the last 4? That's it.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see. That's got me stumped. I'm not sure what he's.
That's a team debrief.
No, I mean he's free to run his own race. But
Yeah, I know.
Look, it's caught me off guard. I'm quite confused.
Well, he's being eyed off at the moment by Cloquet, but Super
Yes,
Dragon has
certainly.
been caught right up with Cloquet now, so this is going to turn into a hell of a battle here.
The real question will be, can Dale hang on
Suit
for
Lad's
third?
off.
What happened there, Suit Lads?
Went a little wide.
Caught off guard by Suit Lads' moves. So yeah, that's really opened up the position for Dale to jump into a podium, and Cloquet and Dragon to be able to pick up more spots while they continue the battle. Wow. I wonder if we're going to see Suit Lad in at the end of this lap, and if that indeed was a misclick from his pit stop just before, and we still need to do mediums. I'm not really sure what he's playing at. He's got half a tank of fuel for. Yeah, we see him coming to bits again. That is super unfortunate. I wonder if he's come in misclick for softs and then he's just had a bit of a rage moment and then accidentally fueled up as well. See the tyres get changed. Those mediums might be going on.
I think Suit Lad's going to get a very sore knee through trying to kick his own ass. So
that sucks big time. So unfortunate. It happens to the best of us. I've misclicked before, so don't feel so bad about yourself and crack on for what you can for the rest of the race.
Still got a good battle though with Cloquet and Dragon up in fourth, whether or not they can chase down Dale. I reckon Dale's, as long as he keeps it clean, I reckon he should be right though.
Yeah, with 3.5 laps to go, he should be fine. Dale's been the quiet achiever tonight.
Yeah, look, Dale's been clean and consistent and been able to capitalise on the chaos that's unfolded around him, and it certainly happened again. And podium finishes race 1 and 2 potentially. Fantastic effort. We do see Ando closing 10ths still, but they're only 10ths. We're looking at a 1:38.6 for the last lap from Spence and a 1:38.2 from Ando, but there's still a 3.5 second deficit that Ando needs to try and pick up in the space of 3 laps. It's at this point in time, it's really not enough.
I think Spence just has a lot more life in his tyres as well.
We see it move.
Dragon's going for
Dragon trying to go around the outside. He gets a little bit of a bump from Cloquet as he holds it inside there. Dragon's desperate to get past Cloquet. That is mega. So those who go on side by side through turn 1 and then picking back into that aero wash that plagues this track and these cars. Dragon's going to want to sit pretty for most of this lap again and really try and reset and make a move again into turn 1.
Cloquet needs to be a little bit more careful with his defending though, because that could have gone a completely different way with Dragon getting pushed off into the dirt. So he was lucky Dragon held that.
Yeah, I wonder if Cloquet just got a little bit squirrely on the exit of turn 1 trying to get his power down and, did just that, like I say, and that little bit wide, but luckily that they both kept on the black stuff.
Yeah. It is just one of those hard things. As soon as you start losing it, unfortunately, you do make mistakes, and it does mess it up for other people. But I know there's no malice or anything between any of these guys, because it's pretty much like one of the cleanest races or like cleanest racing leagues I've seen. Yeah,
we are a massive family. At risk of being super cliche, it's we're all a bunch of mates. You can jump in to we've got a big party chat that we all jump into throughout the week, and you have open chats, and you talk strategy, you talk cars, you talk racing. It's really good fun. We do have our individual teams, but at the end of the day, it's one big group. Super Dragon's got the run into turn 2. Going to have the inside for this right-hander, and then he's going to have the outside for these next 2. If he can make it stick, he's made it start. He's forced the position. He had the track position, and then really close that door on Cloquet.
Yeah, he's made him have to take a really bad line. into that
Yeah.
next little turn, which is definitely closed the door for his position. But Ben has the fastest lap, I just noticed then. Something completely unrelated.
36.3. Yep, absolutely. So Ben, got fastest lap on lap 21.
He's had that for ages.
He's had that for quite a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Little grey
just not
man
paid
in the back
attention.
there in number 7.
Yeah, bringing home those fastest lap points. So I don't see that being beaten at all this race.
May have enough fuel. I don't know exactly how many litres he has left, but he's
for
got
another
the
lap.
red. He's going to have to short shift a bit.
I think that's plenty. Always nearly lost it again. Nearly lost it there on those sweeping right-handers. Just
We're
touches
not
the
watching
dirt.
you, Ben. It's fine. Drive fine.
We're only talking about you, Ben. So yeah, Dragon's been able to gap Cloquet by about a second. The tyre wear difference between those two is noticeable. So Dragon definitely being able to capitalise on that. Spence has actually been able to pull tenths back out of Ando for the race to the finish line between first and second.
Yeah, he's had a very faultless run this race. Compared to his first race, polar opposites easily. Really should be happy with himself to be able to bring it back, get rid of the cobwebs of the first race and just go for gold. Good work.
Yeah. Yep. Couldn't agree more. Everyone's really starting to open up. Oh, actually, what happened there? So I'm just flicking back through the field, and Ben made a move on Mid-Risky, but I'm pretty sure Mid-Risky ran wide. But either way, Ben is up to 6th place. Like I say, very low on fuel. I think that's going to be quite calculated, and he's still revving it out, so I don't see him sweating too much about making it to the end.
Benson's coming up for his final corners.
Final turn there, keeping it nice and clean. I've been watching his lines, and he's been just hitting those markers every single time. The slowest lap that I can see from him recently is a 38.6. So cracking race from Spence, really recovering from his unfortunate race 1. So first place goes to Spence. Ando coming home in second after a fantastic run, making his way through the field. Dale rounds the last corner as well, keeping it clean once more again, cleaning up on unfortunate mistakes and craziness happening around him. Rounds out the podium for third, Dragon for fourth, Cloquet for fifth.
Ben bringing home in sixth, and then Madrisky.
Those two are nice and close to each other. Suitlad with that unfortunate pit stop strategy. Not even strategy, he's just going to have a word with his pit crew for putting on the wrong tyres. He was on for a really good result. Unfortunately, he's coming home in ninth.
Like when you employ the Mercedes pit crew,
you would normally expect better from the Mercedes pit crew, but this time it was it was that fiasco that we saw with George Russell. So Con coming around, he's had some dramas as well in this race, a couple of offs, which is bringing him right back to the life of Smurf, who was sitting in. We see a bit of an attempt for a flick spin, I think, from Con, and then Smurf rounding out our top 12. Congratulations to Spence. Fantastic race again, mate. Good work.
That was great, mate. That was excellent strat, excellent driving, just keeping it consistent. Couldn't ask for more. Very well executed. Gets the job done.
Yeah, and he's knocked it over in a 46.34. That's not a bad time for Div 2. So,
it's a fantastic time.
Yep, not bad at all.
Yep, absolutely it is. I didn't grab a screenshot of race 2, so I'm not too sure what... of Div 1. I'm not too sure what total
what was
race
it,
time.
46.34?
46.34, yep.
Yep, so that would have put him in 6th place in Div 1.
There you go.
Which place?
6th place
6th.
in Div 1, yep.
Yeah, that is cracking time. So Spence has really gotten his head down and been able to pull out such a great race. So yeah, congratulations again to Spence, taking out first, Ando for second, and Dale rounding out our podium. Congratulations, boys. Good work.
Awesome job.
Very
and I
good
can
racing.
tell you, I think Broken Spoke and Suit Lad back down there in 8th and 9th. I think they're still maybe on par with first place in Div 3. So that's how close our divs are, our lobbies. You know, you've got a mix of both Lobby 1, Lobby 2 and Lobby 3 times all in here. So these guys could be racing anywhere.
They're all intertwined, and it really just goes to show the quality of drivers that have both improved and also joined wheel to wheel in recent times. So, you know, it doesn't matter where you race, as long as those total race times bring home some good points. It's all that matters at the end of the day. So,
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Like I said last week, it's pretty much Div 1.2 at this stage with so many fast guys
really
in this
is.
league at the moment.
yeah, it absolutely is.
Yep, and a really quick opportunity, if we can, just to mention the people who make it possible for us to bring you these streams every week in Next Level Racing and Pagnian Advanced Simulation. Those guys are, you know, pretty big names when it comes to all your sim stuff that you need. Just give Pagnian a call, and they can start dishing you out some Next Level Racing kit, and also Racers World, who currently, I will say currently, because rumour has it other things could be happening, own QR Raceway and Lakeside Raceway, and if you ever want to get out on the track, they're the guys to go see. So thank you, Next Level, Pagnian and Racers.
Yeah, it's really good to have some sponsors on for what is effectively a free league. We give up plenty of time, so there's a lot that goes on in the background to make all of these rounds happen. And massive thanks to those sponsors. One quick last one as well is Future Youth Clothing. He's run out of Melbourne, my home city. He makes some really good products, and he's actually been able to put forward a set of t-shirts for the winning team. So fingers crossed that is going to be us, Dodgy. Trophy that we can wear, mate.
Yep, I'll be wearing that one everywhere I can, trust me.
Wear it with pride.
No worries.
Good. On that note, I'm going to wrap things up. Thanks again for joining me here tonight, Kingston, and thanks again, Dodgy, for doing our visuals.
It's been great. Thank you for having me.
Yep, thanks
Always
again.
a pleasure.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
Good night.